New this morning, according to Johns Hopkins University, there are more than 3.4 million total coronavirus cases in the U.S. since the pandemic began.
With over 136,000 deaths and over 1 million people recovered.
Now, some health experts are concerned about what will happen later this year when schools are back in session. John Lawrence reports. More contact tracers are needed in the natural state. State officials have added a second contractor to help with its contact tracing. The Arkansas Foundation for Medical Care is expected to start work next Monday. They will still need to have an appropriation by the Arkansas General Assembly. That decision could be made by next week. If approved, the organization will add another 350 contact tracers to the state. Thank you, Brian. New overnight, 18-year-old James A. Mueller of Poplar Bluff died in a drowning accident on the Black River Sunday afternoon. According to Missouri Highway Patrol, Mueller was swinging from a rope into the river, began to struggle, submerged, and did not resurface. New overnight, China says it will ban entry to U.S. members of Congress and a religious freedom ambassador. The communist regime says this includes U.S. Senators Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, Representative Chris Smith, and Ambassador for Religious Freedom Sam Brownback. China officials say it's over their criticism of the ruling Communist Party's policies towards minority groups and people of faith. If you live in Leachville, listen up. The city will be doing major water line repairs. The water was turned off at 6 this morning and will be off for a while. The city says to be prepared to be without water for 4 to 6 hours. The first federal execution will continue today after an appeals court overturned a court's decision. Daniel Lee murdered a Russellville, Arkansas family in 1996. The family of his victims asked an Indiana judge to hold off on the execution because of coronavirus travel concerns. The Indiana court granted an injunction to delay the execution until the health crisis was no longer an emergency. That decision was overturned in federal court last night. Lee's execution is scheduled for today.
They're not doing this for us, because to me it's heartbreaking, it's disgraceful. And I know my daughter would be very, very hurt to do this.
Now the family of his victims will appeal to the Supreme Court to seek a reversal. In your entertainment news, a new tune from a country star, a massive piano recital, and a coloring book filled with colorful tweets. David Daniel wraps it all up in today's Hollywood Minute. Another questionable Facebook post led a Region 8 school to fire a security officer. The Rivercrest School District fired Jim Creasy for what they called vile comments. Many people took to social media to voice their concerns about him being around their children. A parent made the district aware of the post he made on Facebook. After the district fired Creasy, they posted on Facebook saying in part, quote, "The comments made by the officer are vile, reprehensible, and do not represent the principles and standards of the school district." Another parent said she's proud of the district, but said there was some doubt that anything would happen.
Iffy at first, trying to figure out what it was that they were going to do. A lot of people thought that they weren't going to do much of anything but a slap on the wrist, but I am very, very proud to say that my son goes to Rivercrest.
Rivercrest administrators said in that statement that they thanked those who alerted them of the posting. Parents are having to make tough decisions this school year, sending their kids back to school or continuing with online classes.
Mandy Rock.
We want to send a great job shout out to Bennett McCormick. Bennett is Brian McCormick's son, and he rode his bike for the first time without training wheels yesterday. Just look at him go.
Let's bring the proud papa back in. Brian, tell us a little bit about this.